Hi everybody, it's Mario. So cool, there we go. Super excited for today's group coaching call. So I'm gonna make sure that I think we're live. If we're live, okay, cool. Yeah, I see us live in the group. All right, cool. Well, can y'all hear me okay? If you can hear me, let me know. Like, give me some thumbs up, some little heart guys, or what have you. Let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm still getting used to this. And sorry for the little bit of delay, but um, I was trying to use Zoom, and maybe I'll get with Catherine if she's watching to figure out like how do I can do this so I can share my screen while still looking at the comments. Okay, cool. Hey Jessica, hey Adam, thanks for joining. Cool. I see Ronaldo saying yes, so I'm seeing cool. Jessica saying yeah, we can hear you. Awesome. Well, cool. So I'm super excited to share with you guys my journey in the CF design school, from kind of like my introduction to the course and to the training to the specific actions that I took to where I'm at right now. So I'll just dive into it. And I asked you guys to leave me some questions, and I promise I'll get to that. So for those of you guys who asked questions, Ronaldo, I think it was Jessica, I think. Just stay to the end. Presentations maybe about 15, 20 minutes. Stay to the end, and I'll answer your questions one by one to make sure that you guys don't go more than 10 minutes or maybe 30 minutes, I guess, without getting your questions answered. So, hey, Becky. Hey, Brittany. Thanks for jumping on. So, cool. What we'll cover today. So Mario's my personal journey. I talk about myself in the third person. That's probably kind of weird, but hey. So Mario's personal journey with CF Design School, and kind of like not only my journey, but like where I was when I started. So before I got started with CF Design School, like what I was doing and like kind of how did I enter into this awesome training and become an official design hacker. I'll talk specifically about my first few days in the program and kind of where I'm at right now, like 10K and beyond, infinity and, no, it's not really infinity yet, it's 10K, right? And beyond. So I'm super excited. Thanks everybody for jumping on. And hey Misty, thanks for jumping on. As I go through the training, feel free to like ask any questions. If I say something that doesn't make sense, if I get something and it's not believable, let me know and I'll share with you, and I'll try to make sure that I do my best at explaining to you guys my story with Catherine's course. So yeah, without further ado, right? So you guys probably know Catherine's process, right? There's a webinar. And so personally, me, Mario, before I attended Catherine's webinar, I was like, hey, I'm an internet marketer. Like, I get this. I totally understand all the things that are about the internets and how to make money online. And like, hey, this is my world. And I totally, the shirt says, I'm an internet marketer. So let's just save time and assume I'm never wrong, right? And so that was me, right? I was an internet marketer. I thought I knew everything. And Catherine's course, I saw the webinar, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Catherine spoke to my soul. Everything that she said like made total sense to me, and it absolutely resonated, right? Because before joining CF Design School, I was an internet marketer, and some of you guys are like, well, what does it mean to be an internet marketer, right? The folks who call themselves internet marketers, this is what we do, right? So we troll on Facebook all day. We look at big groups and like post stuff, and like we try to be the pulse of the internet. So all day long, internet marketers, what we do is we troll on Facebook, and like we actually theorize about how to make money. Right? We don't actually make money. Like we just like come up with ideas about things that we could potentially possibly do to make money. And of course, like the third and most important thing about any internet marketer out there is to like buy courses. And so that was like the day in the life of Mario, the internet marketer. This is like pre-CF Design School. So I'd spent a lot of time on Facebook and quote unquote, air quotes, right, say that I was working when I was really just like looking at cat videos and things like that online, posting in groups and whatnot. I would pretend like I was actually making money. But I would just really theorize about it, and I wouldn't actually do things to make money. Then I'd buy a bunch of courses, right? So, but then one time when I was doing my daily internet marketing things, I saw a post in a group, and like it spoke to me, and it was this lady who was like, Harvard study this, and how the people make a decision about design in less than 2 seconds or whatnot. I'm like, that's true. Like that was so true. And so I started following Catherine around the internet, and she convinced me to sign up for her list, right? And she like bombarded me with like emails, and like I pay attention to these dates because I promise they're gonna come to be very important really soon. Right. But so I guess I got introduced to Catherine's course on like June 9th. And then she proceeded to send me a whole bunch of emails. Like, I mean, look at all these emails. Oh my gosh, Catherine, like so many emails. So I got all of these emails from Catherine, and I was pretty excited about this because again, Catherine, what she was talking about really resonated with me. It made a lot of sense. Like I said, I was an internet marketer, so I thought I knew everything, but what Catherine was explaining was something that I didn't really understand. So I wanted to know more, right? And then I finally made the decision, right? Okay, so Catherine, yes, your webinar replay was the thing that got me to say, okay, I'm gonna make the decision, and I'm going to invest in your course because I wanted to know more. I wanted to know all these things about design because I'm an internet marketer, not a designer. I wanted to know more about design. So June 15th is when I joined CF Design School personally. But again, why did I buy this course? Well, I'm an internet marketer, right? Well, but I was an internet marketer who wasn't making any money. So like this is pitiful, guys. Like I'm really ashamed to show you this. Like this is legitimately my PayPal. And that's how I do a lot of my transactions. And I don't know, okay, yay. So like top right hand corner, like here was the date. This is June 1st, 2018 to June 15th, 2018. This was like from the first of the year into the day I bought Catherine's course. Is I called myself an internet marketer, and I only made $2,000 that like between now and then. So obviously I was teaching and doing some other stuff too, but I wasn't making any money from all the things that I said that I was doing to make money online. And at that point, like that's it. Okay, cool. Like fast forward, that's the rest is history. I made a bunch of money. Yay, that's all, folks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, just kidding. Like that's not the end of the story. I'm gonna go into much more detail about like what happened between the June 15th until today. So when I jumped into Catherine's course, like she was so specific and so clear about the things that I needed to be doing. And so I just literally took her advice. I trained. I followed her modules just exactly as they're set out. I started with module 1, right? Because that's where you're supposed to start. And I trained and I trained and I trained. But I trained with the specific purpose to make money, right? So as I said before, like, hey, I'm an internet marketer. I'm trying to make money. Like this was a side hustle for me. I'm trying to earn some more for my family and whatnot. But like the whole reason why I joined or decided to be an internet marketer was so I can make money. So as I was going through each one of Catherine's training, like in the back of my head, the question that I kept on asking myself is like, why is Catherine teaching this? And what can I do to actually make money based on her instructions, right? And so I like all of the training that I went through was like, okay, how do I make money? How do I do this and make money from this? And that was like my mindset kind of going into all of the trainings in the CF Design School. And I made the decision that I'm going to do everything that Catherine told me to do, right? So if she said, hey, like take a picture of yourself holding a contract and say that you're like, tell you about yourself or whatever, like, cool, I did that. And then if she said, hey, like challenge number 2 is to redesign the site, yeah, I did that too. Oh, and then when you're done, like post it in the group. Yeah, so I did that too. And then she said, challenge number 3 is do another site. So guess what? Mario did that too. And everything that Catherine did, or everything that Catherine told me to do, I did it. So the next challenge was go make your first sale. And honestly, like Catherine's advice was so specific. It said, find a site to redesign and then charge that person $350. So look at this date, right? I guess I should say, look at these dates, right? I joined June 15th and I was like, hey, I'm following Catherine's advice. I made the decision, June 15th. June 16th, I was training, right? Remember, I was training. The next day, I completed challenge 2. And then that same day, I completed challenge 3. It took me a little bit of time before I got my first sale, right? So I joined the 15th and I got my first sale on June 21st. But I was like dedicated. I was for sure trying to make sure that I got the best out of my investment with Catherine and her course. And that was my whole prerogative, is to really just do everything that Catherine said to do in the training. And then the next day I made a rather large sales funnel sale. I was super excited about this, right? And I posted it in the group, right? So June 22nd, I believed in myself. I believed in Catherine's training enough, and I believed in my skills enough that I could sell a sales funnel for $2,500. And so really it was for me just all about like just implementing and like putting myself in the mindset of watching Catherine's training and kind of learning the things, not necessarily so that I could add another skill to my tools, my tool belt, but it's like, why is Catherine telling me this, and how can I implement these things to make money, right? So remember this, my pitiful internet marketing quote unquote job, if you will, where I made less than $2,000 in 6 months. After I started listening to Catherine's advice and actually implementing the training, right? So again, this is June 1st to January 1st, 2018 to June 15th, 2018. What did the rest of the year look like for me? So this is June 15th to the end of the year 2018. Over $30,000, almost $30,000, and I promise you, it's over $30,000 since I took Catherine's course. I don't think I've even told Catherine that, to be honest with you. I know she's on here; this is probably her first time. So, can I get like a hashtag DHH, right, for all of the skills that we're taught and the way that we're able to really. It's a vehicle. This is something that if you guys follow Catherine's advice, and if you have the foundational skill set to be able to do funnel designs and to make sales and to convince people that you have the skill set to design them or redesign them their website and sales funnels to make them beautiful, this is no kidding, a reality. Now I'll go back one more time, right? Basically the same exact, wow, that it really is half the year, 6-month period, less than $2,000, and the same exact account from June 15th to the end of the year. So can I get some hashtag DHH up in here? And so this is the power. These are the tools that you guys already have access to. Everything that I've implemented has been from Catherine's course in the training in the members area. So what did I do differently? Nothing. I just really just did everything like Catherine said. Again, Catherine said, go on your personal Facebook page and make a post. And so I did that, and I showed off my funnels or the websites that I redesigned, and I did that. And all right, so funny story here, right? And it's not all mom and apple pie and roses and rainbows. So one of the things that I did is I was trying to get, I guess you could call it like traffic, if you will, to the fact that I was, helping people redesign sites. And so I posted this in the ClickFunnels group, and I got banned. They do not mess around in that ClickFunnels group about like people promoting, or I don't know what the specific rule was. I ended up getting back in the group, right? But it's pretty funny because I got banned from, I guess, that group and maybe a couple other ones. But I guess that's just like the point. It's like, don't let these minor setbacks kind of make you change your mind about the investment that you're made or implementing the training, because that's just part of being a business owner. And having the skills, tools, and resources, got to use them for the right reasons. But yeah, you might get banned from a couple of Facebook groups, but it's okay, right? It's okay. Nice. So Catherine says, yep. Even Catherine has been banned from ClickFunnels a time or two. So, it's funny, Catherine. I was trying to look for your post from when you did the original one about the Harvard study, the one that got me introduced to your program. I couldn't find it, and I was like, well, maybe like that got her banned, and maybe that's why it's not there anymore. Okay, so let me make this real tangible for you guys. Like, what do you guys need to do to join me in the 10K club, right? And so again, just do what Catherine told you to do. In the members area, in the training, right? Module number 9, join the 10K club. If you guys haven't seen this already, like Catherine already has a awesome PDF guide. This arrow's not there. I put this arrow there. You click this button and then do everything that Catherine says. So there's tasks for day 1, do this. Day 2, do this other thing. Like, just follow the process. It's already outlined. It's proven that it works. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I didn't have the luxury of like having this done when I first joined, but when I went through it, I'm like, man, I wish I would have done those things. Like, that would have made my journey a lot easier. Getting from $2,000 in 6 months to almost $30,000. So again, it's already there for you. Like, no extra work. And maybe this is wrong advice, but it's just what I'm going to tell you or recommend that you guys do. Even if you're not on module 9 yet, like, don't be afraid to go and look at like what the things are that you need to be doing in order to get to that 30 days to 10K. So even if today's your first day in the program, even if you're already 30 days into the program and you haven't looked at this yet, I would encourage you guys just to at least look at what the things that you need to be doing are to be able to make that number, right? So all that to say is like, hey, 10K club is great, and obviously I'm in the 10K club, but now I'm doing 10K a month. More than 10K a month, right? With all because of my newly found skills and abilities from CF Design School. So yeah, this is a little bit more than a month, but let's be honest, like, we really didn't do much work at the beginning of the month. So now these numbers are ridiculous, right? I am so much better at making money now online, that I have access to, that I'm a certified master design hacker, right? It's so much easier to be able to work with people and provide value to people, and obviously that the sales are much bigger too. So don't think like you're going to be selling $350 web designs your whole life. And you're like, how am I ever make money doing that? Once you have the skills and ability, and once you are confident and competent in the things that you learn in the training, that you command much higher than $350. Trust me. So yeah, I guess final thoughts. I'll wrap up on this, and then I'll answer some of the questions that I saw in the group. So you guys are sitting literally on so much value. Like, this is legitimately a change your life opportunity. So congratulations to everybody that's here, because they they've made the first step into really changing your life. Just make sure that you guys have access to all the tools and training that you need to really add buku bucks to your bank account. So I really hope that you guys take advantage of that and join me in the 10K per month club. So happy designing, right? But before we go there, there's a couple of questions, and I wanted to address those. Dropping pretty links, URLs. Okay, so Ronaldo says, I actually wonder if dropping a pretty links URL to another useful link and pixel the traffic and remarket would work. I think that's a cool strategy, to be honest with you. Like I like that, and I totally get where you're coming from. But I don't think that's like the way I look at pixels and whatnot. Like those are really good for paid ads. But I think if you're sending organic stuff, especially from posting in groups, I just don't think that's like now knowing what I know, that most people don't like it when you try to siphon off their traffic from their group. That's probably not the best advice. So all right. So there's some awesome questions here, and let me make sure I get to these. So this is Ronaldo. This is your question. So strategies that I've used for speeding up lead research. So in the beginning, like the main things that I was doing was basically just adding value to groups and finding pages that looked like they needed redesigns and doing those types of things. But specifically, it was like just doing what Catherine recommended to do, is finding pages that were in need of a redesign, reaching out to them. And I had the mentality that I'm probably going to get a bunch of no's before I get a yes. And like I just painted the picture today of like the happy path. Granted, there was a whole bunch of other things that weren't nearly that cool. I probably asked about like 20 people. That's probably about right. I probably got 20 no's before I got my yes. So do the math. That's how many people I was asking in that short period of time to get my first sale. So then Ronaldo also asked, like, what's a checklist you look for before you decide to pitch to a lead? I am the worst person at that. So this is probably not the right advice, but it's just how I do things. I am not a perfectionist. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. But like I'm so comfortable knowing that I'm imperfect that I just go in and take imperfect action. And so like I don't have a checklist that I follow. Like I'll even tell somebody like that, hey, your site's ugly. And it's in need of redesign. And you know what, to be frank, like and I don't think this is stealing, to be honest with you, but like Catherine already basically gave you a script. If you watch her videos, it says something to the effect that your ugly websites and sales funnels are costing you money. You're literally leaving money on the table. Look, there's a table, there's money. Do you not like money? There's already a script there for you, and I think that's powerful, and it just makes sense. And so remember the same reasons that convinced you that this was an awesome resource, and this was an awesome tool to add to your tool belt, and explain those to potential prospects. I think the other thing, though, to mention on that is, like, don't think of this as you're asking for a sale as much as that you're trying to improve your lead's ability to make more sales. So in other words, like change that power equation. It's not like Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner and I'm little old me. No, it's like I am a superhero. I have the ability to get you more sales, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner. So I command the authority and you need to listen to me. And it is a pretty big paradigm shift, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, that's the mentality that you need to have. Like, this is not pretty please work with me. It's like almost flipping the script and asking the business owners to convince them why you should work with them. And I promise you, like, that's not necessarily right either, but the closer that you get to that mentality, the more likely, at least in my opinion, that you'll have success. Red flags you see that let you know to drop the lead and move on. For me, like the only red flag, or the biggest red flag was them not having the money to pay, especially in the beginning. But I think the other thing is them just not having clarity about what it is that they want. And sometimes the reason that manifests is because like you're not clear on what it is that you're offering. So the quicker that you can get really clear and make an offer and then tell them how much that offer costs, I think the more likely and the quicker that you're able to see results. So if the prospect or lead doesn't have any money, and two, they're not willing to commit to the redesign, then I think, yeah, that those are two big red flags to move on. Especially in the beginning, it's really all about speed. It's about speed to getting your first sale. It's about speed to, kind of building out your portfolio, etc. So I wouldn't, in the beginning especially, waste any time on people who throw up red flags, just because it's hindering your ability to succeed. How do you price your services? So in the beginning, it was $350 per page redesign. Where did I get that number from? Catherine said use that number. So that's what I was using in the beginning. Now, generally, my pricing is somewhere between $2,500 to as much as $5,000 for a sales funnel design/redesign. And that was within almost like basically 6 months. I went from $350 to doing the same amount of work and now charging, 10x, 20x, that same number. So feel totally comfortable getting there. And, part of it too is being comfortable, like asking questions. I regularly ask people, like, hey, what's your budget for this project? And, have you got prices from other people? And that it's much easier to feel comfortable asking those questions when people are coming in more inbound, as opposed to like, you pretty please work with me. So just something to consider. How do you package your services and how has it changed from when you started? So like I said, I was a quote unquote internet marketer before, and what I mainly sold was traffic like Facebook ads, etc. And the way that a lot of those services are priced is like, I give you the funnel for free, you just pay for the traffic and a management fee. And so obviously based on my my PayPal screenshot, that wasn't making me a bunch of money. And so now I've totally changed the paradigm. It's like, hey, I'm going to, on the front end, sell you a funnel and it's going to be $2,500 to $5,000. And then I'm going to send traffic to your site, and that's a monthly management fee of $1,500. And so that's kind of the typical package for most of the people who I work with. Is it's a initial funnel build out of $2,500 to $5,000, and then a $1,500 a month for us to send traffic there. Okay, so a couple other questions. Bread and butter gigs. So I'm kind of forging a niche, not a niche, but like bread and butter to your point, Ronaldo, of doing two things. Like, one, I have a niche that I really like, that I get good results for, and I don't hear anybody else talking about it. So I'm kind of niching down. But one of the things that I'm also doing is I'm helping educate people that have like traditional flat websites and convincing them they need sales funnels. And, because one of the big objections that I personally heard was like, hey, nobody really goes to our website anyways, and it doesn't really convert, and it's just out there, so I really don't care if it needs to be redesigned. And then I went into psychology, is like, here's why your website sucks. It's not because it's just ugly. Like, it's not designed to convert either, right? How you convert is this, and kind of the whole ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson sales pitch of why people need funnels. So that's what I've been doing a lot now, is either working with local businesses and building them out sales funnels so that they actually have the likelihood that their website will convert. And then number two is finding like e-commerce businesses that have like Shopify stores, for example, and then helping them understand that they need sales funnels in addition to their Shopify store and whatnot. Where is my business headed? Those kind of the two things. It's like, we found a niche that we really like and we're focusing on that. And then number two is kind of working with these e-commerce stores. Okay, so Melissa asked some questions too. So what your routine schedule looks like, both when ramping up And then how you maintain your clients. At what point did you decide to outsource? Great questions, Melissa. Okay, so I am honestly not the best person to give you advice on routines for a couple of reasons. One, I don't really have a specific routine. Two, I work all the time. And three, it's not something that I've really focused on. But I can imagine what a good routine looks like. I think, to be honest with you, I would spend most of the time like 70-30, if not 80-20. And that majority of that time doing prospecting and kind of doing sales, and then the 20 to 30% of the time actually like implementing. So like what would that look like tangibly is, blocking out periods and parts of the day, even if they're like non-traditional hours. Sometimes non-traditional hours work. And I know you guys have heard me saying, it's like, I make a lot of my money on the weekends. So, and the reason why is because I'm available. So finding whatever your traffic source is or whatever your sales philosophy and approach and routine is, but focusing, like actually making the decision and making the conscious effort to focus as much as you can on the prospecting and sales. So I think that has to be your routine. And I think too, like to that point, like what's your routine both when ramping up and then as you maintain clients? I think the number one key to success is having early success. And early is relative. So the sooner that you can have a portfolio of designs that you've built out, the sooner that you can have like some success, not only for like personally, but also so that you can show off to clients. Like that has to be the goal, even if it means you're not making as much money as you want, because I promise you it'll pay off tenfold, if not, like I just said, 20-fold in the future. And at what point do you outsource? I actually took a little bit different approach. Like I don't specifically outsource. I like doing the funnel design. So I do that personally, a lot of it. But what I do is I have a partner, and I have my partner focuses more on the sales and kind of closing. Like I built out the traffic. My partner kind of does the closing in the sales, and then I do the funnel design. And then he like maintains the customer relationship. So he's more like customer focused. I'm more strategy and implementation focused, if that makes any sense. Cool. So Ronaldo says, another one with outsourcing, do you have SOPs? So Catherine is like the queen as it relates to automating everything. And she would be a much better person to ask those questions to about outsourcing and standard operating procedures. So Jessica asks, can you go through an example of finding a potential client from Facebook, Yelp, Groupon, junk email? Like what do we do in 10K in 30 days? Cool. So Jessica, like follow Catherine's advice. Whatever she says to do in that 30-day plan to 10K, like do those specific things. And just like have, and I'm not going to qualify this and say that you're not doing this, but just know that when I say this, I just want to just say it. So this is not directly, at Melissa or anybody, but like treat this like a job, right? And like ask yourself the question. And I've had a job. I still work a day job. And all that to say is like, yeah, all this money is in addition to my 6-figure a day job. But anyways, all that to say is like, what's really important is like, here's what I'm trying to say. Ask yourself this question. If you were an employee for your company, your funnel design company, would you give yourself a raise or would you fire yourself? So think about that, right? So if you are Funnel Design Inc. and you're the president and CEO, and you're also the employee who does all the prospecting work, right? Because nobody gets paid unless the customer pays you. And all that to say is like that's why the sales part of the business is so important. And so sometimes it does take that honest and hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, hey, are you doing the right things to turn this into a real business and not necessarily an awesome skill or a hobby? So when all that to say is like have the intention, like I did, that I'm going to make money. And what's the money by the weekend mentality that you need to have so that you can make money? And when that, it's not a major switch, I think, from like the way that a lot of us think already, but it's that minor course correction. It's that like change of like of a half a degree or just the smallest, slightest course correction. That it's like every action becomes intentional about what am I going to do to make money? How is doing this going to make me money? How can I pitch this email? Go on Groupon, do this thing to potentially make money. And it for me, it really just opened the floodgates. Cool. Great advice. Melissa's like me. Yeah, I totally agree, Melissa. The money on the table gets me every time. Oh my gosh, like people love me. Look at this. I'm sorry for you guys seeing all my messages. Some potential client just said, "Hey, can we talk at 7?" I think that's what he said. I don't know. Great advice. Okay, so Angel says, "Do you set up funnels and do the design, or is it solely redesign?" That's why I said like I do both, right? And maybe that's wrong, but I'm just telling you, like, guys, what I did or do. And that's why I said, hey, redesigns or funnels range from 1,500, mainly 2,500 to $5,000, right? If for the $5,000 funnels, it's like I'm doing the copy. I'm really outsourcing the copy, but I'm making sure the copy is done. I'm making sure that the sales funnel and designs are done. I'm doing the whole process. Those are funnels that are closer to $5,000. The ones that are closer to 2,500 is mainly just a redesign, or like those bolt-on Shopify stores that need sales funnels. Oh, okay. She says, I think you answered my question. Okay, cool. Well, that works then. Awesome. Ronaldo, like you made my day, buddy. Ronaldo says, dude, this is exactly what I was missing. I'm glad I joined. Me too, man. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the 10K club as well. Awesome. Okay, so I think that's all the questions. Hey, Rachel, thanks for jumping on too. So I got to the slide really early, but happy designing, and I'm so happy that you guys decided to jump on. And if you guys have any questions, if there's anything that I can do to help you guys be more successful, reach out to me. You guys know where to find me. So yeah, thanks everybody. I'll jump off.